Hello and welcome to CityBeat. My name is Jaret Schneider and I'm your host. And joining me today is City Manager Gary Ceppetelli. Good morning and thanks for joining me today.
Morning, Jared. It's a pleasure to be here.
So before I start with the questions, first I'll give you a minute to run things down from the past week as well as anything that may be coming up here in the next little while.
Well, I think, obviously is one of the things I'd like to sort of get the information out there is the Norplex pool. Sort of we're back up into operating into full capacity, and I just want to sort of thank residents of the community for their patience and appreciate that, and hopefully that we're undertaking some activities and actions that we minimize any further disruptions as we move forward.
204-677-8181. We have City Manager taking your calls today. 204-677-8181. Now, I know we've talked a little bit about this in the past, but what are some of the plans the city has for pothole repair this year, or anything that might be coming up as far as that goes?
Well, currently right now, obviously that we have a crew that's dedicated for fixing potholes, and encourage residents to phone the pothole hotline for public works so that we can place action on the potholes that are more severe. And it's really it's an ongoing problem with the freeze thaw system that we have in Thompson, and try to get out in front of the situation. There seems to be a number of potholes that have it seems a lot worse this year, but it's something that we'll continue to address, and I think part of our long-term infrastructure plan, by replacing some of the more badly in need of repair roads on an ongoing basis, will hopefully over time alleviate that situation.
204-677-8181. Now, I know you mentioned the future infrastructure plan as far as potholes go, and some street paving. When will we see some of the street paving take place? Is that towards more the end of the summer, or is it something that we might see here in the next little while?
Well, it likely just before the start of summer, realistically sometime in June, near the end of June. Council at the last meeting on Monday approved the tender for the paving contract, which has a number of projects that are within that contract. One is the continuation of the Thompson Drive South from Oak Street to Cree Road. Another project, or a number of projects, really is sort of the paving of the city portion of the UCN Drive by the TRCC and the parking lot areas. So a number of these projects, but likely won't happen until end of June, start of July.
204-677-8181, taking your calls. 204-677-8181. Now, the City of Thompson will host a public workshop to provide information on and gather input into a secondary plan for the Yale-Newman area tonight. And what are some of the benefits of having a session like this here tonight?
Well, really, I'd sort of give a bit of background as to sort of the process. And the Yale-Newman area, which is about an 85-acre parcel of land, which is we are currently in the process of trying to expand the city boundaries to take it inner boundaries. Here's an opportunity for the general public to have input into actually how that parcel of land is developed, and really the secondary plan that's sort of being put into place really sort of will get into the specifics as to how that area develops, the policies and the guidelines as to how that develops. So really that this is sort of the second design charrette that's being held, and obviously this is open to the public, 7 o'clock tonight at Wapanuck Community School, and invite all those to come in and participate in the process and have their views heard.
204-677-8181. Now, what are some of the plans the city has for this new area right now? Is there anything the city has right now, or are we kind of looking forward to this meeting tonight in terms of getting a general plan and a general idea?
I think there's nothing finalized. obviously there's been some concepts that are out there, and it's really likely to creating a mixed-use neighborhood. So I think that really it's wide open, and really looking for the views of residents as to how they want to sort of see that this area develop for the future growth of the city of Thompson.
Okay, and then what types of things maybe does the city have in plans for it, or hope maybe to see from this meeting tonight? Is there anything that they're kind of hoping for from residents, maybe a residential neighborhood or some other projects like that?
I don't think so much. This is more or less as having the residents sort of having a chance to have input, and then really from the consultants that we have working on it, we'll take sort of the comments and views of residents tonight, and really sort of try to consolidate that into sort of the concept of going forward. So really we're really at the initial stages of the concept, and really based out of the comments and directions that comes out of tonight is hopefully develop sort of the policies and guidelines of how this area develops in the future.
204-677-8181. Now, with spring pretty much here and some of the snow just about melting away finally, does the city have any plans for a spring cleanup day or a community cleanup?
Yes, and before I sort of get to that, I mean, obviously, as the majority of the snow is melting and whatnot, is that both our Public Works Department and our Rec departments will likely action a plan is to sort of do the street sweeping and boulevard sweeping over the next little while. In regards to sort of the community event, I mean, obviously that we're planning again this year a sort of a corporate challenge on May the 10th, which is the Friday. And then sort of the community cleanup day on the Saturday on the 11th, of which, I mean, obviously that there's a $3 sort of reimbursement for all bags that are brought in at that point.
204-677-8181. And how much did last year's spring cleanup and community cleanup benefit the city, and how is the city preparing for that again this year, or to make it a little bit better or benefit again from it this year moving forward?
I think the really is how the city benefits is that really that you do get a lot of buy-in from a number of businesses and residents of the community to sort of take pride in and do that specific cleanup on that day. And I don't know have the numbers in front of me, but it's hundreds of bags of garbage that are collected on a yearly basis on that weekend, which does a phenomenal impact on the aesthetics of this community. And really, I think the benefit is that every year it seems to be growing, and residents are taking part in it a lot more and taking ownership, which is great. I mean, I think that we need sort of that individual grassroots level to sort of take pride in the community and assist and clean up the community.
204-677-8181. Now, I know we have this meeting on Monday for volunteers of the community. Maybe remind us a little bit about that and some of the things that are going on with that here Monday on April 22nd.
Sure. Every year, I mean, obviously that there's a Volunteer of the Year recognition as to the sort of the outstanding volunteer, but I think it's much more than that. I think it's really an opportunity for anybody that to come forth and to participate in this thing, and really it's sort of another attempt to sort of that community spirit, recognize we as a city recognize the fact that the importance that volunteers play in a number of projects and activities in this community, and I think that it really sort of enhances as to what we are as a community, and as sort of the spirit and enthusiasm and passion that volunteers exhibit. So this is an opportunity that as a city we sort of give back part of that recognition, and all are invited to attend the ceremony at from 5:30 to 7 at the TRCC on Monday night.
204-677-8181. And for having that for volunteers, how did the city benefit from it last year, and moving forward into this year, what's the reason for having it, and really helping out and pointing at some of the volunteers that we have and giving them some recognition?
I think it's a small component that we express our appreciation for people becoming involved, and I think that any successful community really has a number of volunteers, and the challenge is to sort of grow that volunteer base, and events such as these, and hopefully gives some of that support back to them, and really sort of it grows that volunteer base of which really makes our community.
204-677-8181. And prairie bylaws are coming back again this year, so when will we see them back around the city, and how do they benefit us and help us out in and around Thompson?
Just to clarify that a bit, I mean, Prairie Bylaw, which was a company that was contracted by the city over the last number of years, is not returning to the city. The city has undertaken its own downtown strategy, of which, I mean, we've hired a downtown coordinator, and who is in the process of putting together sort of the short-term plan for how that downtown strategy is rolled out this year. So we're in the process of hiring four seasonal bylaw officers, of which really will serve sort of the same function as Prairie Bylaw did in the past, where they will monitor the downtown area and address some of the issues that are out there. So I think that what the city is trying to do is sort of from an internal perspective, as to sort of develop this strategy that will address the needs and really have a lot more impact immediately as to sort of what some of the issues are and how we can address them. So I think that the intent really is to, once again this year, is to have the kickoff just prior to May long weekend, where we have sort of the downtown strategy announcement, where we invite a number of the stakeholders and partners to sort of in that kickoff event. But I think it's really establishing a number of partnerships with the various stakeholders in the downtown to ensure that we are providing a coordinated effort and really dealing with the issues that are faced by the city of Thompson.
204-677-8181. We want to hear from you. We have City Manager Gary Ceppetelli, 204-677-8181. Now, you mentioned the 4 seasonal enforcers that are coming in just before the May long weekend. What are some of the things that they're going to look for over the course of the summer and then into the fall as for the downtown strategy and helping out the city and even helping out the police officers a little bit?
Well, I think, their intent really is to sort of deal with some of the issues that we have experienced in the past. Obviously the alcohol consumption. So these individuals will deal with those things, but they'll also, I think, go beyond that and really try to offer some of the assistance, because part of the issues, obviously it's systemic issues that are out there. So I think is being able to sort of partner with a variety of stakeholders and provide the support where needed to some of these individuals.
204-677-8181. But before we go, I'll give you the final minute to close things out for the week ahead.
So, and really is all I'd like to sort of a couple of things. One is, obviously the city passed the first reading of their levy bylaw on Monday, and we have a public hearing on the financial plan on April the 25th at 7 o'clock at City Hall. And really invite people to participate so that they could actually know what the budget of the city is for 2013. And the other one is just in regards to the sewage treatment plant and some of the odors that have been emitting from that facility over the last little while. Just to, obviously again, express appreciation to residents on their patience on this. And obviously that we're dealing with old technology and trying to address the issues with a variety of means with new chemicals and processes and try to mitigate some of the odors as we get closer to summer.
And that will do it for CityBeat this week. Make sure to tune in every Thursday at 11:30 for more insight into your city and things going on around town. I would just like to thank City Manager Gary Ceppetelli for coming in today, and to everyone else, enjoy your Thursday and the rest of your week.
CityBeat will be back next.